Hi, my name is Sol, and today I want to talk about GZIP compression in WordPress. So, a brief definition of what GZIP compression is basically it compresses your files. It's specifically geared towards text files, but it can also do video. But sometimes that can go wrong, and it could increase the size of a video file instead of reducing it. But with files such as HTML, JavaScript files, or CSS files, they can it can go up to 70 to 80% of compression. And once the files are compressed and let's say you click on a page, um, the browser decompresses that information and then it presents it to you. So that's a little bit about GZIP compression. And it's important because now we're seeing a lot of a need with the Google Core Vitals updates that we need our sites to be a little bit faster. So it's important to know if your hosting is bringing this or if you need to add it to your WordPress site via a plugin. Now, GZIP compression it doesn't really have to do 100% with WordPress. It's a type of compression that can be at the server level. And the first thing that you should do is test if your website or your hosting already has GZIP compression. And we can do that. Let's take my URL and check what type of compression it has. Now, over here, it tells us that GZIP is enabled in my server. So that's great. But what else can you do with WordPress? Let's say your server, your hosting doesn't have GZIP compression. Then you can do several things. You can do it manually in WordPress. Do it at the HT access level, which is if you search for GZIP compression WordPress, it will talk to you about HT access, which is that's a file that is in your WordPress files, and it's a configuration file. Basically, you change your settings in that file in order to make changes to your website. But it's not at the server level; it's at the directory level, where your WordPress files are. But the easiest way is to add a caching plugin to your WordPress site. Now, some of the free ones that are more popular ones are W3 Total Cache and WP Super Cache. These are free, and you can search in the WordPress repository for the word cache. And we can see here W3 Total Cache, which they're suggested by certain hosting companies. And there's a paid plugin which is called WP Rocket, and you will see if you search for in WordPress groups and in Facebook, you will see most often they will suggest WP Rocket, but this is a paid plugin and it's quite expensive if you're doing it for several sites. So it's a lot of people go for the free options. And these plugins are easier to install in your site and be able to get the optimization that you need without having to handle the HT access files, which is risky at best, in my opinion. Okay, thank you for watching.